Level check. Good. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. We got a great show for you on Wednesday. A lot to get into. Big show. You know, women are really a waste of your fucking time. Like, if you apply, like, waiting for women to the entire time you exist and, like, how much of it is allocated towards things you want to do and, like, things your dick wants to do, it's kind of the most obscene waste of your potential. It's more obscene than, like, I don't know, scrolling or something like that, because you get this immediate gratification. You realize a couple hours later that you've wasted, like, you know, whatever, a good chunk of your day focused on TikTok videos, and you hate yourself for it and you make up for it. A woman, she gets you frustrated after she's gone, makes you think about her the whole time. You already feel like you have the sunken cost provision, like you've put in like a couple hours, like the TikTok videos, but you're not satisfied. You actually dwell on how to sleep with her. You figure out what else needs to be done. It gestates in your mind. It takes away from like you focusing on what's best, which is making so much money that any woman would just throw themselves at you. And it doesn't matter about having to win them over, or best yet, just being happy. Being happy and realizing maybe you're focused on women because they're easier to get self-affirmation from than men, than your boss, than like customers, than your startup making you feel good and not feel like a fucking loser because you're not selling anything and no one wants to buy your shit. No one wants to buy your like bobblehead dolls, whatever it is. Yeah, that's like an easy cop. Is like, oh, I'm going to like cop out of like this whole thing, which is my dream, because it's too painful. And I'm just going to take a few hours, let a woman make me feel good about myself. That's what it is. Like the majority of your time allocated towards women is making you feel good about yourself. The entire pretense of a strip club is a girl telling you how amazing you are. It's not you enjoying her. It's her making you feel better about yourself. Right? I don't think most men even realize like what they're doing with women. Like how much time. Why are you going to the bar? Why are you going to the shitty bar with shitty drinks, shitty food at 8 o'clock at night and spending 5 hours around that bar, other bars, talking to women and thinking that's a good use of your time? You might as well shoot yourself in the head. That is a far more efficient, don't do that, but that's a far more efficient way to like end the pain. A woman, you're searching for retards to make you feel better about you. That's what they are. The whole thing about like women, you know, like the Jeffrey Epstein thing, for example, it's like those girls are too young. I'm like, they're retarded when they're 17. They're retarded when they're 18. They're retarded when they're 25. They're retarded the whole fucking time. It doesn't make a difference. It really doesn't. Like the idea, like where all the geniuses are men, because there's this like dopaminergic extreme variant on the outsides. Women's job is to like conform men that are like rambunctious wranglers, like manifest destiny, looking out to like soil their royal oats, not in the literal sense of fucking a bunch of girls around the world, but sort of in the midst of their conquering territories and taking what's theirs. They're just shooting from the hip. Stacy, Natasha, maybe you go to Africa and meet some Igabugaga, and she has like massive like National Geographic titties, and they're nice. They're not like the ones with the nipples this long. They're like perfect. And she doesn't have AIDS. You're like, yes. And she hasn't been vaccinated by Bill Gates. But a girl is like there to like control you. That's why your test levels go down after you have kids and get married. It's like a thing. It's not the act of doing so. It's that the psychological like computation in your brain now is like, I don't need to be proactive anymore. I have all that I need. I have those plates. I have that couch from IKEA. I have my wife. We have a bath bomb that we got last weekend from Lush that really was the highlight of my month. I don't need anything else. So your aggro, your sense of like, she's nesting, you're acquiring, it's over. There's no acquiring. Your job is to make her happy. The reason why society has shifted into this like pretense of like matriarchy is better than patriarchy and that we should strive for that is a kind of like more Jewish pretense of like the patriarch being not the pants wearer in the relationship. It's the woman. My Jewish friend married a Jewish woman that is mentally ill, so ill that like he's had to get multiple psychiatrists to like deal with himself dealing with her too. She's batshit crazy, and he's not going to divorce her. They don't believe in divorce. I mean, neither do Catholics technically, but Nick Fuentes mentioned this the other day. That in Talmud it is a law that a man has to eat out his wife in Judaism. Kind of the opposite is true in Catholicism and Christianity. A woman's job is to take care of her man in that regard. So you have this like sociological thing where like men are hated on for the longest time. And you start to see that it benefits people that are already in power, whether they be white males or Jewish white males, or, sorry, that was a non sequitur, or just people in power in general. We're going to appease these other groups that might have a common interest in that, like women, but we're going to fund their whole thing, and we're never going to let them actually have any real power. We're going to put them into areas of power, like product managers at tech firms that clog up all the work. They're like these bureaucratic bullshit sinecures that these like control the means of like leveling up as a man. It controls the actual threats to the system. So you have these like sycophants put in charge, these inept people that are very loyal to the people who are in charge that will push, DEI, push, like these sort of like quotas or what have you. And they're too incompetent to actually like protect their own jobs based off the merit. And this has been going on for a long time. And even though the tides have shifted in terms of pretense and like the propagation of like politics being we must end DEI and like be a meritocracy, that's to make you feel comfortable about like Indian people being flown in to take your job at like a 30% discount. That's your like technocratic oligarchs tricking you into accepting that they don't want to pay your senior software engineer salary anymore at the level that it's currently at. And either you accept like a 50% pay cut or Pajit takes your job. And it's just because of meritocracy, because you need to work harder. The astroturfing of women is part of this. But in Europe, it is different. It's also nice if you have money to like have like date liberal girls, because like they, just like all women, do admire power. There's this, that was weird. There's this like hypocrisy. They say at one point like, oh, men are evil and like blah 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 blah, but they too like to be choked and their hair will be pulled and like be dominated. And if you are a man of substance, for them to submit to you. Now, if you talk about politics, everything that they say in public is the opposite of what they did the night before in the bedroom. Will never be disrespectful to you in real life. Like that's the one you want. You want that like BPD art hoe that's like will always, kind of be quiet and demure, and will never like be like this loud mouth. Well, that's just misogynistic, even though what you did to like most cities and most countries around the world, and she was happy to go along with it. Because she in one area she's saying all this stuff man. She just wants to be completely dominated. That's what they need to do. Like this? Is this good? Women want to be taken care of. And this comes in many different ways. If you do not have money, they want you to bend the knee to them. That'll make them feel secure. If you do have money, they don't have to play that game. If you're insane and a sadomasochist as a man, you'll marry someone that wants to control you, and yet you take care of everything. Private school tuition, first class flights. Maybe you have a fucking plane and that bitch tells you what to do. It's insane. As if she has anything on you. Prenup, give me a break. What is it? The mother of your children, go fuck yourself. The au pair is ready to take your job any second. She literally does your fucking job. She's 19, 5'10". Oof, gorgeous. There's a delusion. I will also say this about relationships. Like, there's a point in time with a woman, like, you've been through everything. She's been with you when you didn't have money, and now you have money. She's loyal. She's great. You don't want not to take care of her. Even if you see younger things and stuff like this, you care about this person. It's not even almost like you almost respect them for like taking care of the kids and providing this like primogeniture of your lineage, your bloodline. You like owe her something in your head. And it's almost like a masculine relationship with this person. Like, I respect them because of the work they put in. They're not just like a sexual object anymore. It's kind of like Lana Del Rey getting fat and kind of like moving away from her BPD arc, kind of around Blue Bannister's that album, and kind of moving into this more like maternal godmother for all the BPD art hoes, but like not like proselytizing that, fuck your way to the top and do blow and, The Amber Heard version of that is like, fuck your way to the top, do blow, accuse them of rape, keep suing them, ad infinitum. Different versions: introversion, extroverted, malicious, BPD. You really want the introverted. They do malicious things, but they're not even aware of it. It's a self-defense mechanism. It's playing on the background. It's just like this, like programming. But yeah, it's almost like a real great woman becomes like the relationship you have with her is more almost like a best friend as it like she gets older, and she's like there and actually like provides sweat equity for the family unit. Because no matter how much money you have and like how many au pairs you have or whatever, tutors, a great mother that goes out of her way to make sure that children are safe, and like you can entrust your kids with them, and she shares your values and like regurgitates that when you're working or like building your legacy, what have you, or building the next great piece of infrastructure in another country, and you're doing whatever, you're taking depreciation, you're this mogul, you're this real estate guy here, you're this Bitcoin, whatever it is. It makes a big deal. Like, she was once a sexual object and you liked her too, and then like it was like more than sex. It was like she's great, she's amazing. I will say I think Nick's wrong. Like, women eventually, when you find a great one, that can exist. Like, there can be that mutual respect, and it's not fun to be alone forever. You can conquer the world and yada yada, but it is not fun to take more and more young girls to fancy restaurants and on trips over and over again, different ones, because you know that it's fake and they don't. So it's like you're in on it, the audience is in on it, they're not, and it's not fun. It doesn't get you off the same way, because part of it was like the idea, almost like a bipolar person, like the falling in love over and over again, because it's like not that. It's just like so easy for you to like do whatever. And And women, all like young girls, will just like, that's why a young one's great, because they just start to like. What am God, what am I doing wrong here? Like, why is it all of a sudden messing up? The things that you like, she takes on as her own things. She doesn't have any hobbies. She doesn't have any like weird peccadillos that she's like, but well, she does have those, but you have your hobbies, you have your like activities, your movies. She like goes with them. She's an empty shell, and you can fill her up, and she becomes almost like this simulacrum of you. And often the stuff that you like with a young girl will like manifest into them finding out what they like or what they don't like. And that's good too, because you don't want to date someone that's just like you. You want to date someone that has like different values than you in some ways. They're like superficial, not the deep values, but like they might be generally empathetic. And so they can't imagine just shooting all these retarded liberals as an ICE agent and thinking that's okay just because they were like interfering with you, arresting some sort of like Guatemalan that's not supposed to be, and then like, I understand. Actually, you should take that viewpoint. You should. That's the way a girl should be that way. You don't really want to date girls like, yeah, fuck them. Let's shoot them. Let's go out there and let's round them up together. Let's be like the fucking Minutemen. She's like, you be Batman, I'll be Robin. I'll get my suit on, baby. All latex. I'm like, okay. Wait, latex like that blue X-Men girl? Like that? All right, maybe. But you don't want to date a conservative, loudmouth woman. You want to date a girl that's like, that's just so horrible. How could you say that? But they don't say that in like a loud way. They say it like, but that's awful. And then they giggle and they're like, that's awful. And they don't tell you, let's talk about something else. They're just like kind of, playful about it. That's who you want. That's what it's all about, Not what it's all about, but when it comes to a woman, like that's definitely a benefit. All right, let me check my levels here. 1 second. Kick. No. Just watching this old Federer match against Lopez. Novak Djokovic is just getting away with it. Like, he's going to get all the way to the semifinals, play center, probably lose. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. He would have had a hard match against Mensik. He was going to lose against Musetti probably. And he seems to be becoming more and more aggressive in points when he's playing defense. He's on the defensive and he's going for more. No, he needs to dictate from the beginning. So there's something weird going on there where he's like trying to find some sort of variant of his older self where he was more of a free spirit with his ground strokes. The greatest ground strokes of all time, in my opinion, like overall. I could say Nadal, but it's really Djokovic. He just neutralized all of Nadal's spin and then like was more aggressive on like in terms of he could neutralize one of the greatest forehands of all time in Nadal's and come back with more firepower deeper into the court. Nadal added lead tape at 12 o'clock on his racket. So his swing weight, that's the place where you put the most weight for like the most swing weight, which is like the power of the racket moving forward, like to get the velocity of the ball, the force of the ball forward, heavier ball, more power. Recoil weight, you want it on the sides to like someone hits the ball very heavy, send it right back to them. Good for defense. But he added lead tape at 12 o'clock in 2011, 2012, just for Djokovic, because Djokovic could deal with all the topspin at 6'3", and everyone else couldn't. Changing your entire game for one player. That's pretty crazy. That Barry Coogan guy is such a weird looking fucker. Very strange looking guy. Liberal women are saying that the existence of the Groipet should worry us. No, that's exactly my point. That is women finding something in men that they want. It's like women want men to be dominant that they're attracted to. They're attracted to confidence, which is what a Groiper is. Coming out in public and saying the things that Nick Fuentes says as a man has deep-rooted consequences, which means you don't care. It means you're confident, maybe even to a fault. They like that. They like men that don't conform. They like people that are able to say fuck you to the system. They love that. And that's what it is. It's like during the Me Too movement, I think any man that comes up to me, and without my permission should be considered like an act of sexual violence, unless they're 6'4" and have a chiseled jawline. That's the whole thing. Like women were trying to create this barrier to entry. The Groipet movement is basically women insinuating kind of out loud, I have liberal values, but I want a dominant man who puts me in my place. All women do. It's genetic. It's just normal. And it hurts the whole argument of the empowerment of women, which is designed to make women wear the pants and men to be cucked and subservient. The entire wage deflation since the 1970s is part of that. Women giving this power, being astroturfed in society, wages going down, forced into the workforce. 50% of the population that wasn't paying taxes now does, and now you can start paying people less relative to inflation. It's insane. The precept of women having more power now than they did like when they couldn't serve on juries, like to equate that is absolutely nuts. It's almost the same thing as like a transsexual person saying, I want to make it illegal to misgender someone. I'm like, well, you do realize that if you do that, you're losing your right to misgender someone also. You're losing free speech. But they don't fucking get that. Women are like, I can work now. I can have a 1-bedroom apartment. Yeah, but your spending power is down. Your spending power is basically cut in half. You didn't have to work. Your husband could work. That's the point. And you're miserable. You're freezing your eggs so that you can be independent. To do what? To go to Mykonos by yourself as a 37-year-old like senior executive, hoping to find some. They don't want to fuck you. Your constituents don't want to fuck you. They want to fuck the 24-year-old. Are you mad? Do you realize how fucked you are? It's hilarious. Like, what made you think that was a good idea? Oh, I'm not going to fuck the partner when I'm 24. I want to have my own career. And now you're in Mykonos. Now you're going skiing in Stad. And like they're just nice to you, the executive committee, because you're like a constituent, and because of like quotas, they have to put up with your obnoxious stipulations. red tape. That's all it is. They tricked you. Then you become a lesbian. You actually find some like young, ugly girl that can't get fucked because no one wants to fuck her. And you're like the sugar mama. You become a effectual lesbian, a career lesbian. You even leverage that for like your next career. Like, I'm a lesbian. Oh, that's amazing. It'll help further hurt other men from gaining entry into the workforce and areas of prominence, because you're not only a woman who went to Oxford and Yale Law School, you now are a lesbian. That's amazing. And you're in your 40s. Wow. We're going to totally make you like a block for other potential candidates that might actually undermine real powerful people that are above you. That's what they do. That's the whole fucking game. But congratulations, you have your independence. Congratulations, you have a 780 credit score. You have a beach house, no kids, and a 25-year-old like Carolyn Ellison looking like girlfriend. Congratulations. You're like the poor version of Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi. Does that make you feel good? Are women even aware? Because they lie all the time to each other to make each other feel better about their lot. Is the ugly young lesbian and the older woman who just sacrificed her vitality for the sake of her career aware of the lying? Like, their entire relationship's a fucking lie. Boys don't like you because you're ugly, and no one wants to fuck me because I'm old. And all the guys that I could fuck, I make more money than. Like, do you see the power dynamic there? And so, do they know that? Do they ever have that talk? Like, the only reason we're together is because of that. No. Women lie to each other to make each other feel good. They want each other's lies to be true. That's what they do. They're insane. Women will lie to each other and agree with whatever that woman says so that when they lie, the women have their back. It's like a pack of wolves, like psychopathic wolves. I keyed his car because he, accidentally called me by his ex-girlfriend's name. And then I accused him of rape. And I don't think that progression of actions is inappropriate. And some girl next door in like the circle jerk of women is like, he deserved that. That is unforgivable, Sarah. You did nothing wrong. And then you go on to the next one. And it's like, Sarah, I just want to say my story. And now Sarah has to agree with Rachel about her lie or bullshit that's completely, unfounded and not fair and based in some ridiculous version of reality that's, completely unattractive. But, yeah. So that's that. Somebody tell you what, if you find like an older woman that's like model, like there is a thing like the gorgeous woman who marries a guy, he dumps her. Happened to me. I was waiting tables when I was a kid and I was 19, and this ex-Wilhelmina model lost her kids in the divorce, which implies she's batshit crazy because women don't usually do that. Her husband's very wealthy. But so is her family. They bought her a $4.5 million house off Foxhall Road in Washington, D.C. Not far from Tim Russard's house, not far from my family's house, not far from Tucker Carlson's house. And, one night I'm waiting tables, and she's crying. I bring her tissues, and I hear about the divorce. I'm like, well, my parents had one of the most brutal divorces in D.C. history. Worse, in terms of money, worse than Jack Kent Cooke's. Like, just ridiculous lawyer fees and everything. That they just kept going and going after each other. So I gave her my number. She takes it. Shocked that she did. She is like 40, probably a little older than that, but beautiful. She calls me that night. I come over. She's wearing a thong and like this like outfit, and she kisses really aggressively, like her tongue down my throat. But I make her bleed. Maybe too much information. I'm like, oh, am I that big? Like, I'm the first guy she's had sex with since her husband. And so, okay, she's really embarrassed. She gives me like the best blowjob ever. And then she has a parent-teacher conference the next morning. I fuck her in the shower, and she's dressed up to go to the thing. And she has like the Mercedes station wagon, which was in vogue back then. And she drops me off at my mom's house. which is kind of like around the corner, it's like fucking one of your mom's friends. It's fucking hilarious. And I had an affair with her for a while until she told me that someone was like taking pictures and like I can't see her anymore because like she's trying to go after custody again. And I guess women who are sleeping around, like you can't do that. You're less likely to get the kids. She is really fucked up about it. She had pictures of her kids on the pillows in her whatever, like the bedrooms that they were supposed to be in. I guess she wanted full custody and she didn't get that. So she's getting like time with them and he has full custody. I don't know. Something like that. It was really fucked up, but she's obviously crazy. What's she doing fucking me? In the event. How long have I been talking? Let's see here. Why can't I tell? 30 minutes. Oh, that's, I'm so ready to talk to my friend right now. Oh, should I call it a 30-minute stream? Is that what I should do? Isn't that inappropriate? Everyone's streaming for hours and hours and hours. I don't know how they fucking do it. I'd have to be on tons of coke. Not that I don't need it because this fat's still there. I'm still burning the midnight oil trying to... Did Retta today 1.4? What else? Added some tests the other day because I was feeling like anxious. I'm trying my best, but I know there's still a lot of work to be done. What else can I talk about? How many energy drinks are on my table? This can't be good for you. I mean, it can't be correct. I need a coffee machine. I need a good espresso machine. You know? My neuroinflammation kicked up today. I wanted to do a little bit of streaming. I'm so fucked in the head with all this inflammation. It's insane. Like, forget basic things I need to do. I do things out of order, and I don't even realize that I'm doing it. I'm taking steroids to offset the inflammation, but it's making me like not myself. I'm extra aggressive. You know? Like telling my date, she's like looking at appetizers. Pick something. You know? It's like crazy. I'm not, I'm a really nice, happy-go-lucky guy. But I'm really sick. The doctors really don't know what to do. I can feel my like lymph nodes swollen all the time. And the back of my head feels like a bowling ball. Like there's all this like fluid that doesn't want to be released and it affects my memory and all this stuff. It's horrible. This is yeah. And I'm talking to you assholes on Kick, which I'm not even sure is the correct platform. Should I be like playing video games or something and streaming them? Is that this? Or this, I should be going to a club or IRL, like walking around and have this like fucking white light box, soft box, is that what it's called? The white light shining in my face like I'm a goddamn, I don't know, like K-pop star. And I'm just walking around and you're like staring at me from your house in bed in your underwear. What is going on? Like, what is this life? I look at my phone less than you do because I have to make it interesting. You just watch it on your phone because your life sucks. Mm-hmm. You can't even afford to go throw axes at a bar. Your life is horrible. That's why you're watching people on Kick. You can blame women for that because joining the workforce, they fucked up with your money. Mm-hmm. And if you're a woman, fuck you. It's your fault. You should know better. If you just stop paying, if we all stop paying our taxes, you know how much more power we'd have? You can't throw us all in jail. Ready? 1, 2, 3, no taxes. That'll solve private credit issues because the majority of debt is based off of tax liability. Like if you have no taxes, you're not going to have debt because you wouldn't be able to offset the tax payments. You see what I mean? Saudi Arabia has no debt because they have no taxes. That's how that works. So, yeah, it's a kind of transfer wealth effect. What else is going on Twitter? The only app that I use. Andrew Tate's being weird. The fact that he went on Steiny's show or something, and Steiny was one of the first guys to throw Nick and company under the bus. He like lied about it, but he did. He like went on went online to try to get people to quote bad reviews on like the clavicular stream, like bad reviews in the comments, like basically make up engagement farm negative feedback. Why? Like that's so retarded. You can't spit on someone. That's like he spit on the car. Does that count? He kicked the light out. That's it's government property. You damaged. They attack him. He goes to the ground. He refuses to be he's resisting arrest. I want to watch this real quick. This is the Alex Peretti video.
Continue to hold the man down before they retreat, and he walks away. Bend. Here, he continues to stand at the scene. Approached officers holding a handgun. The scene. Phone, not a gun, when he was pinned to the street. News investigations, which concluded that Preddy was holding a phone, not a gun, when he was pinned to the street.
Yeah, from the video I saw of Peretti is that the gun was on his holstered. A cop removed the gun and they shot him in like the back. It's very weird. Like, because if someone was drawing a gun, you know which hand was which. That would be coming from them facing you, not from behind. Also, the gun, if they're facing forward on their knees, wouldn't be retracted backwards. Like, how? Like, what does that mean? Like, why would you think that's him pulling? It's very weird. A gun's floating in the air. All the people around you have guns. Why aren't you shooting them? Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But I'll watch another video sometime. In the end, it's just like, this is all backfiring on the Republican Party. It's why I think why Nick is aligning with the MAGA movement. He's actually giving himself cover because the goal was to kind of create this golem with the left with the ICE raids and have them overreact. Instead, they're not shooting ICE officers. Like, law and order needs to be. It's like they are being subjected to like mass murders in the street. That's really shitty. Like, these people are going out of their way to put themselves in harm's way with officers that are basically treating U.S. citizens like they don't have any like protection in the Bill of Rights, that they are actually illegal. They're incredibly aggressive. They're pulling people out of cars. It is incredibly aggressive behavior, and the deportations are not happening. It's entirely theater. I think designed to provoke an ambush or something that has not happened. So it just makes the Trump administration look bad. Nick's under a lot of pressure as it is. He's providing some cover. So there's less criticism on Nick now, I think, because he's kind of like, hey, law and order, law and order. The Groypers, not Nick specifically, but as the vocal person for the Groyper movement, those votes matter. So he's not getting as much heat recently because of it. So I think that's interesting. Mm-hmm. I wonder how that club owner of Vendome, that clavicular, went to have dinner with David Gutman. I wonder what his house is like, but it's kick-ass. Mm-hmm. Or the Israeli cyber CEO found guilty of multiple sex offenses. This is the guy that was like charged in Vegas and he got away. Found guilty. He like got away, right? We're at 40. We're at 40. I'm so inflamed. Okay, I'm going to text my friend. I'll talk to you guys later. I have to cut it short. I apologize.